if you're like me, you're over 40 years old, you're thinking, do I really want to jump into YouTube? Do I really have the time to do this? Is this something that's really going to pan out? Can I make this work? And here's the thing. I started on YouTube when I was just under 40 years old. I was 39, and it was during COVID. I had the time. We all did at that point, right? And I found out through the process that if you are dedicated, you could certainly grow a channel. And as somebody who's over 40 now, I can see that there is so much benefit for a person like me or a person like you to have a YouTube channel. But at the same time, you might be thinking, do I have that kind of energy? Can I really pull this off? And let me tell you this, people today are not looking for the stereotypical YouTuber. You don't have to be the next Mr. Beast to grow a YouTube channel. In fact, I would say a lot of people today are looking for the calm, rational voice, people with experience, people who are over 40, people who have a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of life experience to say, this is what I've learned over the years, and this is how that can apply to you. In fact, I would encourage people not to think of themselves as just starting a YouTube channel now. I don't know about you, but when I thought about starting a YouTube channel, I thought it had to fit a certain kind of style. Like you hold your camera a certain way, you talk about your life, and people subscribe to you because they want to follow your journey and that kind of thing. And certainly there's an element of that, but the way that we think about starting a YouTube channel makes a huge difference in how it's going to grow. As somebody who's over 40, somebody who has a little bit of life experience, you really need to think about how, not just how people can start following my journey, but how can I speak to people in their journey? Instead of just thinking about how can I get people to watch me, think about how can I encourage people in their journey? How can I speak into their lives? How can I share my wisdom in such a way it's going to inspire them and help them in their endeavors and business and family or whatever it is your niche is, right? Really what I'm talking about is becoming not just a YouTuber, but a mentor. And people call it various things. People call it oftentimes coaching, or they'll try to get people to sign up for their coaching plan. But really what this is showing is just that people crave like this one-on-one personal mentorship. And if you're over 40, you really have the wisdom and the life experience to speak into people's lives such that you can help them no matter what their endeavors are in life. Maybe you've been thinking for a long time, I really want to get into YouTube. It seems like a great opportunity, but I would encourage you, no matter what your niche is, and you can apply this to just about anything. Don't just think about what's in it for you. Think about how you and your unique experiences in life can speak to other people and encourage them as well. And it really starts with thinking about how you are uniquely gifted to do that. So, for example, I'm a pastor of a small church. So for me, thinking about how do I engage in YouTube and all that kind of stuff, of course, it meant having a YouTube presence for my church, but it also meant how can I, in my personal life, encourage people and help people to have hope and joy, even just by, through my own personal YouTube channels and this kind of thing. So I started a channel, and the whole point of the channel is to help people to have hope even when life seems hopeless. And it was a vlog, and it still is a vlog in terms of how I share the content and show people how I take care of my medically complex daughter and these kinds of things. But really the point is I've learned some things through my life, and I want to share these things and encourage people, no matter where they are in their journey, that they can have hope and joy too. Now that's that channel. Now I also have another channel where I simply review items and review things that you can find on Amazon, and it's a product review channel. And I never mentioned my age on that channel, and I don't talk about being over 40 and these kinds of things, but I think it comes across, at least to some degree, that I'm not a young puppy, right? I have a little bit of life experience. I can buy things, and I can afford to buy what I want, and I search for the best value for things. I don't get sucked into the marketing hype and these kinds of things. So when I review products on that channel, it's coming from a position of wisdom rather than buying into the hype. And certainly not to say that I'm the most wise person out there. You obviously you want to show some degree of humility, right? But as somebody who's over 40, we really can have a more balanced approach to how we do YouTube. We don't have to get sucked into the beastification of everything. We don't have to get the quick views. We really can think about, because this is how business works in general, right? How life works in general, have more of a long-term plan. We don't do YouTube because we think we're going to be an overnight success. No, it takes the consistent effort over time and say, I'm going to keep on doing this because I enjoy doing it. And eventually it's going to lead to something that I really want to have in my life. And if we can have that perspective for ourselves, then hopefully that conveys to other people that they can have that perspective too. It's the same with this channel here. Like on this channel, I hope that I never say you can get rich quick on YouTube, because that's certainly not the case for most people. Instead, my message on this channel is simply, be consistent, do it because you enjoy it, be committed to the process, and eventually it might work out to be something. And even if you never explode and have a huge YouTube channel, if you enjoy the process, then that itself is rewarding, right? I guess what I'm saying is, being over 40, we learn to finally see that life isn't about the quick successes. Sometimes life itself, the most enjoyable things about life is seeing something change and transform and become something over time. They say your most successful years are in your late 40s and 50s and these kinds of things, and then you're at the height of your career, because At that point, you've built something in your life. For most people, I don't think it's the case that you suddenly wake up when you're 40 and somebody just hands you this really great job and you say, oh, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm going to have this great career, right? No, it's because you've built yourself up over time. You've built up your career, you've learned things as you went, and eventually in your 40s and 50s, that's when you have the career, the income, the lifestyle, the family. All these things kind of fell into place by that point because you've been consistent over time to make it happen. The same thing needs to apply to YouTube. Don't think that you're just going to snap your fingers and everything's going to fall into place. No, just be committed to the process, enjoy the process, and eventually it could work out. Hey, I don't have all this figured out just yet, but I'm working at it. I love doing what I'm doing, and if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm just an average guy.